Now in her early 20s, Serena Ryder is already being compared to musical greats like Aretha Franklin and Tracy Chapman. If you're not already in the fan club, oh, that'll happen. Here's a look. Serena Ryder has been called an old soul. The 23-year-old from Millbrook, Ontario is blessed with a 3-octave vocal range, strong musical roots, and an artistic sensibility way beyond her years. She's become known across the country for her renditions of timeless Canadian classics. Her major label debut, If Your Memory Serves You Well, is a testament to her musical influences. And for good measure, she includes a couple of Ryder originals. I'll stand if you want me to. And here she is. Serena Ryder joins me now.
Hi.
Okay, thanks for being here.
That's my pleasure.
The record is awesome.
Thank you.
Why so many of, there are a couple of originals, as we said, but why so many old songs?
Well, this is always something that I have wanted to do since I started out by learning other people's songs, and that's how I started, and I think that's how most people start.
As you do, yeah.
As a musician, you know, as the beginning of time, that's how musicians have always learned. It's from, you know, their influences and people that they've listened to. And from the time I was 7, I've been singing songs, and some of these are actually ones that I used to perform at, like Legions and Motor Hotels and things like that. So it was really just going back to my roots and the Canadian, you know, roots of where I came from as a musician. So
You even included the Buddy Holly song, That'll Be the Day. The recording is that you sang when you were 7 years old, right?
I was 7, that's right. That was my first gig, my first paying gig. The first time I got up on stage, I don't even remember. But I was 2, and it was my sister's wedding reception. And the band had gotten off stage, and I ran on stage, and the microphone was way up there, and I just like pulled it down and started singing Beat It by Michael Jackson. And I was 2, so all the only words I knew were, beat it, beat it. And I just sang that over and over again.
Now it's part of the family lore, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's some photos somewhere.
So what was the context in your family that was the direction you were?
Well, it's totally in my genes. Like my mom was a go-go dancer and a backup singer and a tambourine player. And my dad, my mom Barbara and my dad Andy, made a bunch of mixed tapes all the time. And so we'd go out every Sunday and go to flea markets and things like that, and in Fraserville, and hang out, go to the flea market and listen to mixed tapes, collect tapes. And he had the greatest CD collection ever. Yeah, it's in my genes. My uncle was a musician, and so it's been all around me since I was very young, so I was very blessed.
You've said, I'll read a line that you said, a lot of the songs, especially the ones you got on here, a lot of the songs speak to the political time in which they are written, but they also resonate with what's going on today.
Of course.
How so?
Well, as we all know, like, history has constantly repeated itself in a lot of ways. And, you know, I think that there were a lot, like, especially in the 60s and things like that with Vietnam War and things, they were really big kind of protest songs and songs that were, you know, happening at all times. But, I mean, the war has never stopped, and there's never, you know, a lot of the things that, the songs that are on this are about war, about peace, about love, you know, which are very common, timeless topics and things that we are constantly experiencing. And so I think that just because of, you know, the time that we live in right now, I think we have more options of finding out what's going on at our fingertips, you know, with the internet, with television, with news and things like that. And so I think that a lot of the subject matter of these songs kind of rings more true now than it even did at the time, just because I think that we have more of an option to know.
Awareness of it, yeah.
An option to. I don't know if there's necessarily more awareness.
So I bet a lot of people are watching thinking, I can't believe she's only 23 years old. I'm sure you hear that a lot. You're sort of wise beyond your years. What's it like for you to be at this stage in your life touted as sort of the next big thing, and there's a lot of pressure from initial success.
I don't know if I'm necessarily wise beyond my years. You know, there's certain things that I know because I've had the opportunity to travel a lot and experience a lot, and, you know, be on the road and be with lots of older people influences, people who have been traveling, and you know, I think that traveling has a lot to do with it, but I think that I just walked around your question and forgot what you asked.
I was kind of wondering what it's like to be, you put out your first record in the whole world. I mean, you know, we compared you earlier to Tracy Chapman. There was a spectacular pressure, and then the knives are sharpened when out comes her second album and nobody thinks much of it. And I mean, how do you weather that pressure from the system?
For me, it's like I don't actually feel that pressure because I've been making records since I was 15. You know, this record happens to be, you know, my first major label record with EMI. So it's like, I think that a lot of people, you know, think that this is the first thing that you've done, and like, well, how does that feel? But it's not the first thing I've done.
But this is the first time that you're on talk show circuits, and you know,
exactly,
doing all the
which is brand new, and it's, yeah, I think it's fantastic. I feel blessed to be doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to keep on, you know, loving it as much as I do, you know.
You also seem to be fairly grounded, down-to-earth person. How do you anticipate the, you know, when marketing people get their hands on you and you say, no, sweetie, we're going to make your hair blonde, and we want it like this, and actually we want you to do a little bit of this. How do you anticipate dealing with that?
Well, I think that, you know, everybody has a choice. I think you can get lost in so many people's ideas of who you are, and I think that, you know, the more exposure you get, the more people have ideas of who they think you are. But the only way you can keep your feet on the ground, I think, is if you know who you are, you know yourself, and you really, really kind of hold on to that and keep that, you know, safe and sacred. And that's what I plan on doing, you know, as much as I possibly can. So
with that in mind, I guess, what would success look like to you?
Well, I feel like I feel pretty lucky right now. I feel pretty blessed where I am right now, and I think success is being happy exactly where you are. You know, everyone, I think it's good to project, you know, goals and things like that for the future, but I think, you know, as long as you feel good where you are in the moment, I think that's the most successful you can be.
Wise words. I wasn't as wise as you when I was 23. I shudder to think. Thank you so much for talking with us. And Serena is going to actually be doing a little singing with us a little later on in the show. Her album, not so new anymore, is called If Your Memory Serves You Well. And as I say, she'll come back a little later to perform one of these songs for us. You don't want to miss that. Don't go away. And we'll be right back. Coming up next, the cord blood question. How far away is and because she has to stick around and sing, she needs a little energy for her singing.
Will you pass me your plate, my dear friend?
And she's going to have a little taste.
Thank you.
What was the milk for?
The milk was supposed to go in the custard.
It'll taste really good. Because you're getting the one that got swapped out.
It's so rich.
Sorry, I kind of blew our cover on that one.
That's right. I tried to come up with something artful to tell you, but I lost
And now
it.
we put some sauce on, right?
Now we put some sauce on it, yes. Oh my gosh.
What was the milk
This is
for?
What was it? I love it.
Is that enough for you? Is that the piece for the entire audience, or is that the piece for the...
Well, this is why it doesn't matter if the edges get a little
She's going to come back after the break and she's going to be singing like that.
Here you are,
Okay, Joshna Maharaj, Serena Ryder.
Wow,
The virtual greeting there, but that is a true gift of love.
And these are the apples.
From me to your hips, my friend.
It's nothing wrong
She's
with
young, she can handle it. Okay, so all eyes are on Serena. She's rolling, we'll do the play-by-play. She's rolling it in the butterscotch sauce. She's lifting the pecan-soaked butterscotch to her mouth, and it tastes...
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah? What do you think of it?
Amazing.
What do you think of a little cardamom suggestion in there?
It's amazing, actually, because you can taste it when you breathe out. You know, when there's a taste,
I like that.
you can feel it a little bit on your tongue, but when you breathe out, it's almost like a part of your
fragrance.
breath. It's gorgeous.
What a poetic description of your food, eh?
It's totally
a little
gorgeous.
tingly about that.
Tastes better with the milk in it, don't you think?
It's amazing. That's amazing.
So it's going to coat her throat and make her sing even better when she comes back. Thanks, Serena, for being our taster. Thanks to Joshna, as usual, another fabulous inspiration for the kitchen. And of course, you can, as always, find the recipe for Joshna's apple cardamom bread pudding on our website. That's cbc.ca/Jill. And we will be right back after this.